What's up everyone, it's Gabbie here and welcome back to the Coin Bureau Trading channel. Should you fear this Bitcoin rally? That's the big question. I can give you the answer and we can end the show right now, but no. So you guys, you know what to do. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss a live breakdown on the Coin Bureau Trading channel. You guys, you know, today is our last day today on Coin Bureau Trading with the live streams. I've had a great time. Coin Bureau Trading, great friends of mine. So you guys just remember, we're gonna be back here anytime soon. Let's see who's in the chat box. You guys come and say hi. Very glad to see you. Anyone that's celebrating, you know, Thanksgiving is on the way. So okay, without further ado, let's just go ahead and talk about what's going on. Good morning, good afternoon. Come on everyone, say hi in the chat box. Okay, cool. So basically, what did we have? Stocks and pretty much the market is squeezing higher at the moment. That's interesting because we're still in extreme fear. And what is that signaling? Well, that's going to show us in a way that the traders are betting on something better, some better news. And what is that going to be? Well, that potentially is mainly the rate cuts. I don't see anything else pretty at the moment, but yeah, everything is ripping higher at the moment. Today we have a slight pullback, but let's not forget also that the markets are closed today. Not many news to look forward to for today, but basically we have some bets surging on Kevin Hassett becoming the new Fed chair. So when that happens, that's going to be under Trump, of course. And on that news, of course, we ripped higher immediately on that headline. Why did that happen? Well, basically because he is the one that's considered to be dovish. So he is then most likely going to support any aggressive cuts, which is exactly what Trump is wanting, right? So yeah, let's see. I think that's good news if that happens. And obviously the market reacted very positively on that. In terms of the rate cuts chances, we continue to increase almost 85% at the moment. We're just about 13 days away from that. So that's going to be huge. Let's see how that's going to go. Again, don't forget, today the markets are closed. We have Thanksgiving, so that means no trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Futures are ticking up, but stocks are going to resume on Friday, which is Black Friday, basically tomorrow, you guys, with a shortened session as usual. Okay. So, hi Julio and hi Sofa MC. I think I've seen that guy. Oh, it's soon useful. Please compare copper versus gold ratio, ISM PMI, Russell 2000. Okay. I don't think I've ever compared these things, but I guess we can look at it. All right, you guys, so let's jump straight into it. Bitcoin right now, because that's what's important. The bounce has been absolutely great from the area of interest that we saw. We ripped higher, we closed above true week open, we closed above daily SR flip. So these are very, very good things so far, so good. Right now, it's really pretty much the telling moment. And it's kind of funny that we just reached that zone and then the markets are closed, etc. But it is what it is, right? So from now on, you guys know what we're watching. We discussed that on Tuesday. We want to close above 92K on Bitcoin. Is it 92, 93K on Bitcoin on a daily, right? For a little bit more confirmation. Because at the end of the day, even though we had this small bounce over here, the only way you can trade that, and if you are in, you could potentially catch that on a smaller time frame. So that is going to mean 15-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame. Definitely there was a structural shift over here in an area of interest. So you could potentially take this long, right? So if you're at the bottom, good, but you need to be aware that this is definitely a take profit area right now. Why is that? Well, because you are still bearish, right? You've been trending bearish from up here, and the most recent range that you're trading, price range, is this one, right? So what's that price range? Well, obviously it is still a bearish price range, right? So, you know, in the best case scenario, when you have bounces like this, you know, you could be hoping for a little bit more, but usually the highly likely scenario of that is, let's just get the tool out. which, by the way, I also made an educational video on how to use that tool and how to mark it. And I made another one today on my own channel. You guys make sure to follow that channel. Is under the description box. The link is in the description box. But basically, when you have a bearish range like that, right, what tends to happen more often than not, if this is a really strong bearish trend, what is going to happen is, even if you get a bounce, which you clearly did, right, you are looking to reject at around the 0.5 area for a continuation down, right, for a continuation down. And unless, you know, until this happens, this is going to continue to be a sell zone, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So from here, you're looking down. Yes, you're bouncing, but 0.5 is definitely a range that you want to be looking at for sales. Do you have other confluences to short from that area? Well, absolutely. You have a sell breaker block zone just above it. So the area could literally just be wicked and you have no body closes above 93K whatsoever. And then you just roll over. So you need to be aware of that this is definitely a shorting area opportunity over here. In a good case scenario, right, where price is a little bit stronger, you can still trade, right? You can still trade up above around even the daily support, the 0.786. If you reach the 0.786 of that range, usually what happens is, if you're trading in that range, what tends to happen is that then you're more likely than not to form some sort of a range in that current area that you're trading. So maybe that's a little bit complicated for you, maybe not, depending on your level of understanding. Yes, you guys, make sure to smash that like button. But this is what we're dealing with. So should we be scared of this rally up? 100% as usual, because we're still bearish. Yes, we're having some structural breaks to the upside. We have had some early signs that this might be a reversal, but nothing concrete as of yet. So of course we need to treat this area always as a sell zone. Okay, I think a good thing that might happen during this week, but again, it's a holiday week, so it's very tricky. A good thing that might happen is, even if we retrace back, right, if we manage to maintain the daily support, the true week open around 89, 88.5, and reject from it positively, bullishly, that is going to be a very, very good sign, right? Because we know that this area is very, very important. We have had multiple taps in this SR flip zone before. We have traded nicely above it when we reached a new all-time high on Bitcoin, and now, you know, we broke through it. We just want to see that this was a simple tiny deviation away from 88.5, and then we're safe above it. But for now, that hasn't been confirmed yet, right? Because we had to break through it down, and we yesterday for the first time had a break above it again, right, with a nice bullish engulfing candle, all good, but so far nothing confirmed, right? We need to be very, very careful with that bounce. Okay, so how am I trading this? Basically, on Bitcoin, the only thing I'm doing is shorting in this area. That's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested to start buying from down here until something really proves to me that we're actually changing the trend. Until then, I'm just sitting on my hands. The one thing that I did, the one trade that I had was on ETH. That was literally the only trade I took from the daily SR flip zone here at 2,900 with take profit. Basically, this was my trade. Can we short here? Hold on. Sorry, long. That was a long position. So basically, this was my trade right over here with very, very, very tiny stop loss. And I've taken profits up here, right? At the SR flip at 3,054. So that's everything I did, and I'm pretty much happy with that. I didn't close the trade. I took profits. I still have it running, but I've secured my entry because I don't know what's going to happen, right? Because Bitcoin can roll over. Everything can roll over as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. We need way more confirmation, especially on ETH. We need more closes above 3,150. So it's still pretty much a waiting game. But the good thing for ETH is on a 4-hour time frame, we have some liquidity zones to look forward to, like 3,700. So, you know, it could be something, but it might be nothing at the same time after all of this that we had for a very long time. Okay. Solana, honestly, you guys, when I'm looking at Sol, hold on, let's look at daily time frame again. Sol is looking fine. Sol is looking a little bit better than Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment when you look at it structurally. But again, it's been failing so many times, so I wouldn't give it too much attention as of now. We still have zones to break. We just broke the 12-hour SR flip zone at 140. Now we're still rejecting at 144, which is of course a massive sell zone. You guys very clearly, you can see that over here. So yeah, we're not able to break above through that today. We're kind of rejecting when Bitcoin is in the sell zone, ETH is in the sell zone. So again, can you see Cardano? Sure. You guys make sure to drop your altcoin request. We're gonna go through it right now. In terms of ETH BTC, it's still in the range, right? Definitely it was in a sell zone. So if you mark your range over here on ETH BTC, this is what usually happens, right? And this is what I teach also on my main channel. I dropped video yesterday. I'm dropping one later tonight as well for you guys on my main channel. So yeah, that's what usually happens, right? You bounce from in a range. This is typical price range trading. 0.786 is always going to be a sell zone. So as soon as it reached up here, it's rejecting. So that's where we currently are until we decide whether we want to break that range to the upside or to the downside. That's not for me to decide, right? Cardano, actually I haven't looked at that in quite a while. Oh yeah, well, you know, still bouncing from the zone, but nothing more than just bouncing from the SR flip zone. Naturally, something's going to come at that level, and that's what we're seeing at the moment. But again, no confirmation. Cardano needs to close at least above 0.48 before I start paying any attention to it, right? That's literally the first mini zone that I'll be looking at for some sort of reversal. And then again, I'd preferably like to see it trade above 0.50, which is the weekly area of interest for me. Before that, there is just simply no point in trading that asset. What is her personal channel? You can find it in the description box of this video. So if you click below, in the description box, you're gonna find all the links for all the offers that Coin Bureau Trading has for you, and also my offers and my main YouTube channel as well on there. So are we clear on Cardano? Like it's literally just bouncing from a SR flip zone that we had marked a long time ago. So 0.40, that's it. Nothing else on the daily yet. It still needs a lot more, and ideally you want to have a close above 0.50, right, for a little bit more confirmation. Thank you, Backstage. XRP, for sure we can look at XRP. Yeah, I mean, XRP, we were talking about it for weeks, right? We needed to see 1.97 tapped. It tapped. Nice reaction from it, okay, on a daily. You sort of have a nice reaction, but it's kind of like the same situation with Sol, where you have this massive sell block over here that you pretty much can't break through at the moment. So I'd say wait for a little bit more substantial break on that. So far on the daily, you do have a mini confirmation coming from a zone of interest. So is it worth a punt at around $2 or again 1.97? Probably, right? If it goes back to that level, probably at this point. But if you want to be extra conservative, you are looking to break the sell block that has developed in this region for XRP. Okay. Zcash, like we discussed, I think on Tuesday, we were talking about it. That is still not strong enough at this point. And we have the 12-hourly liquidity down here sitting at 422. So I'm just a bit wary of this asset at the moment. It ran a lot and it just might as well just dump as much. 4-hour time frame, we do have some zones to look forward to at $610. Having this triangular formation, this all of this liquidity and SR flip zones you get with my indicators, which you can get 30 days for free. Again, the link is in the description box. This is Thanksgiving stuff for you guys. Head and shoulders weekly, yeah, we can look at that. But the point is, when you have this sort of formation, you do have an extra confirmation. Let's get rid of this. You do have an extra confirmation that the zones down here might be holding once more, right? So you have 469 for a potential zone, and just the one above it, 489. So let's say these zones, right? Around these zones. Now you do have a potential strength over here, but then keep in mind that price could roll over and take the liquidity at 422. So, you know, very risky on Zcash as well. Sure, we can check AVAX. Nice reaction. Not too bad, honestly. I was hoping for this to happen. I like this close above 14.6. Actually, I really like it. So that looks good. That's not bad at all. Let's look at weekly. Yeah, AVAX, you know, long overdue to start running. Lots of targets to look forward to. Unfortunately, again, lots of zones to break. So definitely an area that I'd be interested in for AVAX, actually. So this is probably going to come on my list now to watch. But I do like this close yesterday. I think it's very strong. So this might continue to run. So from here on any retraces, again, 14.6, I think is a level of, you know, as a level of support is a good level. And then, yeah, you can even look at sort of this block as well down here for a retrace, right? But any, you know, price could retrace to that block to $14, could retrace down to $13.4. But again, there is a confirmation that this thing wants to run a little bit more, and then you go target by target. So next one is going to be 17.2. So if you're not in, let's say, and price starts running, right, you want to see a tap here, rejection from it, and then you want to start finding support to which you can re-enter, right, if in case you missed the trade, right? But yeah, this is the first confirmation on AVAX, and I do like how it looks at the moment. That's probably one that I like how it looks currently. Okay. It's very tiny in a bearish, you know, in a bearish trend. So you do have to be careful. That's for sure. 100%. If you want to be more safe and just wait for the whole market to move a little bit more, $17, I'd say. Break above 17. Right, but these things are just in case you want to catch bottoms. And of course, don't forget and don't underestimate the level we have above below as well, sorry, which is at $11.8. So that's also one to be watching. But the reaction so far, I think, is definitely worth a punt. Filecoin. Yeah, just pretty much retrace the entire move, not respecting anything. So from here, honestly, like if I'm looking at this, I'd consider this entire zone over here like a zone of support, this entire zone. So between 1.2 and 1.7 as an entry area. If this break was real and this pullback was going to end, this was potentially the area that I'm going to consider. And for Filecoin, you do have a lot of nice targets to look forward to, like $8. And again, you know, if you want to be conservative, you have weekly areas that you want to break before you start getting more involved, right? So if you want to be a little bit more safe, then you're waiting for 1.9 You're waiting for 2.4, all of these areas to break properly, and then you can be like, all right, cool. Now we have more chance. Solana, we already looked at. GRT, I don't know, mate. I don't know. GRT, it looked good, and then it just started looking really bad, just like everything else. See, this was what I was hoping for this to hold, for this break to be real, but so far no breaks have been real, and you know, we're just trending massively down. The only thing I'm seeing right now, hold on, let's move this a little bit. This is a massive weekly buy zone. Let's delete it because you guys should know how we operate here already. But see, the thing is, right, this should have held, and it's just not. First of all, we wick through it massively. Even if we try to not see this, I mean, again, you're rejecting from it again right now on the weekly. So I don't know, at least come above that zone over here. At least do that. Yeah, you do have some sort of, you know, mini confirmations over here on the 12 hourly. Daily, I'd say it needs a little bit more. Daily needs at least a break above here, and then you could potentially look forward to catching the target on the 12 hourly. But for now, it's just too weak. Yes, a quick like goes a long way, you guys. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to check all the offers that Coin Bureau has in the description box for you guys. Also follow my main YouTube channel where you can get more of the live streams that I do. Jasmy, hold on, let's look at Jasmy real quick. Absolutely nothing holding on Jasmy. I haven't looked at this for some time, to be fair. First zone, like everything just failed. With this wick, it's just like completely broken. For us, it's broken, right? So nothing. At this point, honestly, I don't want to touch this above like at least 0.01. And even then, I think it's just like it's looking way too bad for now. I don't think it's worth it at the moment. Sorry. Atom, I don't think I've looked at that one for a long time. Yeah, not looking great at the moment. Not at all. Potentially some targets. This was nice back last year, but since then, honestly, nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's just not looking great. I mean, even on a daily, you have to bring it above like $4 at least. And that's going to take a lot of work for that. Before $4, I don't think it's worth for me to look at this, unfortunately. See, they completely broke it for us. Completely. What do you think about bots? Yeah, I had bots that were liquidated. I had bots that were liquidated. So I think they're good. I think they're, honestly, I think they work fine if the market is good, right? If the market is not good, that's what happens. TNSR, hold on. Yeah, this is some crazy stuff here. What is that? 17th of November. That's on the weekly, actually. Hold on. Yeah, 20th. I mean, there is no way that I could have caught any of this over here. I don't think would have been possible for me to catch that move. I don't know what it is. Where is it coming from? It is rejecting some previous areas back from like 2024. So yeah, not ideal. Not ideal, I'd say. I mean, on the weekly, potentially something, but it's just way too volatile for me. Way too volatile for me to make any decisions on it. Like, it doesn't look bad, right? This candle on a weekly, it kind of looks okay. It could potentially run, but how high, I honestly can't tell you. Probably to retest 0.45, then I honestly have no idea. So probably not. Let's look at Fed real quick. If we can find it here. Yeah, so again, you know, we're just continuously rejecting from our point of interest. So you know, I think it just needs to find some sort of support in that level. Just looks like some of the other altcoins that we were looking. So if it manages to find support in between like $2 and 0.26, then maybe. But again, you want price to start trading more healthily above 0.33, in my opinion. But I guess it is in an area of interest. But is anything really to be trusted right now? That's the main question you need to ask yourselves, right? In terms of altcoins. You're welcome. I'll go, I think I looked at it the other day. So yeah, just trying to come above levels at the moment, but currently nothing. Currently nothing. Currently nothing. So this is now essentially your sell zone up here. You don't even need that. You can even use this one over here, but yeah, point is just trying to get above level, but it's not really, you know, managing to do that, at least for today, right? Yesterday was trading above it. Today's potentially retesting. Is it worth a punt? Maybe, right? Maybe. Do you have more proof? Well, not really, right? On the 12-hourly, on the daily, not really. You need to close it at least 1.55, close it above that. Then you have another resistance at 0.16. So I'd probably wait for both of these to clear before I make any decisions. So yeah, the market needs to show a little bit more strength, you guys, especially in terms of alts, because it could be simply a manipulation move, right? Because when you have such a huge move to the downside with you know, massive order flow, bearish order flow, bearish distribution, I think anything could be a rollover point at this point, right? You could create a lower high at any point. You guys are more than welcome. Okay, so are we clear on Bitcoin? This is what we're dealing with right now. Very nice that we broke above 88.5. Very nice we trade above the SR flip zone at 89K. Now, are we going to retest it? Are we going to protect that area? That is going to be important for the rest of November, which ends on December, right? 8th of December. Okay. But again, thank you so much for being here, you guys. And also, I've had such a blast streaming with you for, I don't know, 5 months, more than 5 months. So make sure to follow my main YouTube channel for more of these live streams and also educational videos, which I started like printing for you guys. I've put one yesterday, I've put one today. So I hope these are going to help you in your trading journey a lot. And I'll see you again, maybe when Dan or when Dan or Aaron or Jordan, any of them invite me, we are going to see each other again. Until then, you guys, trade safe, and I'll see you guys around.